What's going on to all my Raised by Wolves fans out there, and welcome back to my channel, Movie Files. Just wanted to make this quick intro video because I said in my review last week of episodes 1 and 2 that I was under the impression that HBO Max was releasing the first 3 episodes of Raised by Wolves Season 2, but no, it was just episodes 1 and 2. So I edit that portion of episode 3 out of that video, and here is that portion here. This is a full spoiler review for episode 3 of Raised by Wolves, and at the end of this review, I kind of share with you all my overall thoughts of the first 3 episodes and what I hope to see in the rest of this season. So just wanted to put that out there in case you were wondering. That was kind of a weird edit. There was no intro. Well, this is the intro. Make sure to like, share, comment, and of course subscribe. Thank you all for understanding. Sorry for the inconvenience and the confusion, but enjoy the rest of this video. In the episode with Mother coming across the skin of the serpent, and she feels like the serpent deserves to die due to the fact that she's under the belief that the serpent killed a child. So that's again her path going into episode 3, which to me personally, out of the first 3 episodes, I would say, as far as ranking them, which I'm going to get into my thoughts, episode 3 is my favorite. Out of the 3, I would say 3, 1, 2, but let's get into my thoughts why I think episode 3 is the best, because as we open the episode, Mother finds Father, who was given the task of leading the soul believers to being essentially bait for the serpent because they have these bombs attached to them, and it's very interesting to see a Father in this position holding these people against their will and seeing that Mother's like, I'm tasked to kill the creature that I created. But again, it's the disagreements, it's the back and forth, it's the banter between those two that really kind of keep me intrigued. But while this is happening, we see Marcus comes across Father and he takes him out pretty easily. I've lost count of how many times Father has died, but at this point he does die, and he continues to build his congregation, except for the inclusion of Lucius, who we know from season 1 is not a fan of Marcus at all. But let's check in with Campion, who him and the android is starting to thicken, and their kind of dynamic and their friendship starts to develop. And while she's repairing herself, we see that Paul finds that sword, and we see that Marcus has arrived, so they now know the location of this ancient church, and we know that Paul wants to keep the remnants of this church going on, which again, that civil war between the brothers are coming. Meanwhile, we see, which I love this moment here, Mother climbing the mountain. Feel like I was watching Predator in a second, while she comes across the serpent. As a concerning mother, she finds a bird, snaps his head off, and wants to feed the serpent, but it's in this moment that we learn that the serpent is actually not a fan of blood. He doesn't eat meat. He's actually a herbivore and only eats plants. So now Mother's mission is like, oh, it's not a killer of children, it's safe. It doesn't even like to eat meat. So now her whole mission has turned on its head, and now she wants to take the serpent back to the camp, which she inevitably does. Meanwhile, we see Father is bringing back his own life, and it's very interesting. Like I said, at this point, I don't know how many times he has died, but in his kind of woundedness, he uses his white blood to fuel the pieces, the remnants of the million-year-old android that he found. And again, I think that android is going to maybe be the replacement of Mother for him. He's going to build a bond with this, android, and maybe this android will be even more powerful than what Mother was. But again, just seeing him making these decisions without telling anyone, I think will bite him in the ass in this season. But again, we see Father is definitely upset with Mother's decision to keep the serpent alive, but she inevitably gets her way. As we know, she has the power in this relationship. But again, it's in the Father character who goes back to this android and kind of tells his emotions, tell his truth about how he just doesn't believe in what Mother is doing. And again, I think that inevitably when this android comes to be, it's going to be tasked with maybe taking out Mother, and maybe Father's going to get his revenge that he's been kind of holding on since season 1 with being killed by Mother, as we all know. But speaking of Father, who gets his redemption in this episode, he is on the task to continue to fuel this android with the white android blood, but he has to fight this android by the name of Billy, which to me was kind of like a hybrid of Leatherface with a chainsaw, or Ash from Evil Dead, and it had like a Mad Max feel to it. But again, Father, he's always getting his ass beat until this point. He actually beats Billy, kind of gains some confidence, and also his kids were there, so they can like, okay, Dad, we can trust that you can keep us safe, because he finally kind of gets his moments to fight back for it's been a long time since Father has had a victory. But it's in this moment that we can't forget about Sue, who at this point in the episode, she discovers that the serpent was only a 6-month-old baby, meaning that the mother is somewhere out there. So again, how many of these small baby serpents are on this tropical island will be the thing to find out this season. season. Meanwhile, we see Paul lies to the quantum computer about knowing the whereabouts of Marcus as he gets his mouse back, and he learns at this point that there is a search and destroy for Marcus, which Paul does not want, because Paul wants the remnants of soul to continue. He wants this religion to continue to go on. As Paul and his crew go to Marcus's lair, goes to his church, they're spotted. He welcomes them in, and we end the third episode. Like I said, to me personally, I thought the third episode played so well into the storytelling because, number one, the family that was reunited in episode 1 of this season, they're now starting to distrust each other. Mother and father, they're saying in episode 1, let's trust each other. Let's start from scratch. Let's leave the past in the past. But as we get episode 2, as we get episode 3, with Mother deciding to keep the serpent alive, they're now at heads. And he is now building his own little lies and secrets with this million-year-old android, which he did tell her about, but she obviously doesn't know that he's rebuilding it, recreating it. So there's that distrust there. Of course, we see the Paul and Campion, which to me, these kid actors are doing a great job. I'm really invested in their story, but I think that their civil war, their disagreements about android and religion, and power will definitely come to a head. And of course, you can't forget about all the other things that we got going on with Marcus and him continuing to build his congregation. So within these first 3 episodes, I'm pretty compelled, pretty interested in the story. I'm still very intrigued to learn more about this tropical island, which we really haven't gotten a full understanding of, like the force field that we learned about in season 1, what happened to Kepler, that planet, and everything that's going on there. And I'm really looking for more of the answers about the serpents and the de-evolution of the humans that were first on Kepler and how they became these kind of serpent-like creatures, and the whole religious elements about, the serpents, can you trust it or not? So I'm very intrigued by the first 3 episodes. I'm really compelled to watch the rest of the season, but I am really happy that the season is back, and I really enjoyed these first 3 episodes. But that's just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. Again, your pros, your cons. Episode 3 was the best to me, followed by episode 1 and then 2. Let me know your order of the rankings of your favorite of the episodes, favorite moments, favorite new characters, thoughts, theories, and everything between in the comment section. Of course, if you all want me to cover this on a week-to-week basis, let me know that in the comments as well. If you stuck around to the point of the video, I appreciate you all. Before you leave, make sure to like the video, share the video. Again, leave your thoughts in the comments. And of course, subscribe to the channel. We're growing this community. We're almost knocking on the door of 20,000 subscribers. I appreciate you all. And again, I appreciate you watching this review. Hope you're staying safe. As you can see on the screen now, subscribe to my channel. Check out my other content. We'll catch you all on the next video.